Southern Vangard Radio. This is DJ John Doe, and to the left of me is my man.
He'll be coming around the mountain when he comes. He'll be coming around the mountain when he comes. He'll be coming around the mountain in a 2003 Astro van. He'll be coming around. What's up, homie? Cappuccino Meeks in the building. What's going on, homie?
Boy, that was. We got the Doppler shit going, and you're doing the train shit.
Man, my fucking phone updated. Must have been a crazy update, man.
What?
Everything looks different. Like,
right now?
Yeah.
Like just right now.
Like Instagram looks crazy. GPS, the reason why I was singing that old Negro spiritual right there at the beginning was because this motherfucker brought me to Canton, the Canton extension.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I turned on old 41 highway. I was like, man, I ain't supposed to be back here, you know. So, yeah, man, like literally came around the mountain to get to you tonight, man. I was a little uneasy about that shit. Like, please don't break down back here. Goddamn.
Well, it is Kennesaw Mountain.
Well, I mean, that's all well and good, but I don't need the scenic route. Fuck that shit.
That is a way to come, though.
I wouldn't give a damn if it was the only way to come.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting that it sent you that way.
Yeah, quickest route. Like, but the last time, because I usually don't come from downtown. So,
right.
That's
right.
Coming from the crib, I only had to get on the highway. But whenever I had to come from downtown, I'm not used to coming that way. So I just popped in the GPS. Mm-hmm. And previous times, it put me off at North Marietta Parkway. And I'll come that way.
Hop on Polk or whatever, right?
Yeah, so. But it's all good. I'm here.
Oh, I made it. How are you, dude?
I made it through the wilderness. I'm good, man.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I well rested. At least I thought I was. I crashed today when I got to job number 2. I fucking crashed, but I'm ready, man. We drinking good.
Yeah.
We got a good guest tonight.
The bourbon that we can't mention is in the house tonight.
Yeah, the secret bourbon.
The secret bourbon
is in full effect. We got it. We got it.
I was called a bourbon connoisseur at the store yesterday.
Man, somebody lied to you.
Because I said no, I'm not a bourbon connoisseur.
Nowhere near.
He was like, if you're walking in here asking for the bourbon that we can't talk about, he said,
that makes you a connoisseur.
That's what he said.
Really?
That's what he said. I said, all right, well, I might be that motherfucker then. You know, you never know.
But you weren't drinking like one this weekend.
Oh no, I was drinking the bottom of the barrel. I was on that benchmark shit, which I appreciate.
Good old bench.
Good, yeah. The good old father-in-law brought through some benchmark, which I had never had before, and you know, I'll put it to you this way: if you just want an easy drinking bourbon that still has a little flavor and can still get you where you want to go, you don't want to drink, the regular shit. That's one way to go.
I hear you.
So anyway,
you gotta drink that whole handle though, don't you? Yeah, that ain't good.
Well, it's a different type of situation when the bottle is plastic. And,
right.
I don't mean like
oh shit.
I mean like
like 2-liter Coke
like
plastic.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. You know it's strong.
With
you know
liquor in it.
Right. Man, I tried to get. So I was up in Nashville this weekend visiting the family, and I tried to get out to the Boom Bap's 10th anniversary.
Shout out to Case.
Yeah, piece to Case, piece to Rate, piece to Bowles.
Who they had out there?
Just Blaze.
Justin Blaze.
With Justin Blaze was DJing the 10th anniversary, and little did I realize I DJ'd the first anniversary party of the Boom Bap.
That's
10
crazy.
years ago, which I did not realize until this past week. So it was just kind of bugged out to, I really try to get out to that joint.
Yeah,
but
I'm in the midst of a real trendsetter, ladies and
you are. It's fancy shit over here.
Yeah.
Bourbon connoisseur. And, if you want me to kick off, an event that you're trying to get going and then kick me to the curb a couple years after it gets up and going.
Is that what happened? God damn, Case.
I'm just fucking with it. Okay. I mean, look, I mean, Newmark and DJ Scratch and, Justin Blaze, absolutely
That's all right. That's
have
great
their
company.
place. Yeah, it's great company. Yeah, I'm proud of those guys. Actually, man, they started something from nothing, and it's really grown, and it's
still going.
One of the best hip hop events in the Southeast, as far as I'm concerned.
That's what's up.
Anyway, go check those guys out. The Boom Bap Live.
Yep.
Is them on Instagram. Case Bloom, Rate Wonder, and Bowl 615 on Instagram. Go check those guys out. If you're in Nashville on the last Saturday of every month, there's some fly shit going on.
No doubt.
So that's the deal. So that was me this weekend. I was just all fammed up, just fam-a-lam, and just glad to be back. Yo, my one of my coworkers, man, I showed you the picture earlier, rolled his car.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yo.
Yeah,
this guy,
it's wild out here now.
This flu, man. This guy had a coughing fit and passed out in the car, rolled his car twice, and walked out of the windshield, the front windshield, and walked to the ambulance. I mean, this car's mangled, isn't it, Meeks?
If you have seen this picture,
there's
no way he should have been number one talking to John in the first place.
Right, yeah.
Number two, actually worked today.
He worked.
That's crazy.
That's some dedication. Look, I tell you what, if that ever happens to me, Meeks, you will hear that I'm okay, but I'm just gonna fall off the grid for about a week.
It's time to lay low after that.
Fuck
That's
that,
crazy, man. Let me lay low and get on this codeine and heal up all the way. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, man. It just goes to show you, man, in an instant, your fucking life can change. Might be over,
It don't take but a second, man.
It's ill.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, that being said,
what's up?
Let's get down to business. But before we do that, let's tell people where they can go check us out. This might be the first time you're listening because you're a fan of the gentleman that we have on the phone with us for an interview session this week.
No doubt.
This is Southern Vangard Radio. This happens twice a week, usually. On Tuesdays, we have a mix show. So it's myself, cutting joints up, and Meeks and I popping shit on the microphone and just having way too much fun. Just the two of us in our little room, in my little studio here in Marietta, Georgia.
The bourbon room,
if you will.
Marietta, GA.
Yeah, and then on Thursdays we have an interview session. It could be a DJ, a producer, behind the scenes, A&R. Last week, for example, we had Photo Rob Mayer, who's an outstanding photographer based out of New York, who had crazy stories for us last week.
Yeah.
We had him on last week. Since the new year kind of turned over, we've had Crime Apple. We've had, who else have we had, Meeks? We've had
Photo Rob, Crime Apple.
Who else have we had? I'm having a brain fart right now. Do we have Daniel's son at the top of the year?
I think so.
Or was that at the end of the year?
It might have been at the end of the year. We're still at the top of the year. So
we are at the top of the year, but I gotta remember here real quick.
Helter Skelter.
Rock from Helter Skelter.
Yeah.
Oh, Theory Has It. We had Theory Has It a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We had Heem Stogie at the end of the year.
Yeah.
We had let's see here, Daniel's son. We had Rock. You mentioned. We had ID.
Yeah.
The Mighty VIC, Big Twins. I mean, anyway, the list goes on and on.
It's the guard.
So make sure you go follow us on SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, and there are a host of other affiliates that you can come check us out on, right, Meeks?
Yep. Returning to Boom Bap Radio, WRBB here in Atlanta, ATLHipHop.com. You already know where that is. I am Classic RawRadio.net, also in Atlanta, and Soul Public Radio out on the West Coast.
All right, and there you have it. And without any further ado, we're going to get into an interview session for this week.
Let's do it.
I mean, I think you could consider this man a West Coast legend, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, as far as like the
resume speaks for itself.
The resume speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like when I was doing college radio in the mid to late '90s, like this guy's name was all over joints that I was playing back then.
Man,
so
Stone's Throw, 75 Arc, Hyro Imperium.
Oh man, yeah.
Coolio, Planet Asia, ABB Records.
Yeah, run it.
You know what I'm saying?
Run it.
Killa Kali, MF Grimm.
Exactly.
Sinister, Cali Agents, Opio, Prince Po, Rasco.
There you go.
Yeah.
So without any further ado.
None.
The one and only, the architect.
The architect is in the house tonight. On the phone.
Yo, what up, y'all? What up, y'all?
What's good?
Peace.
What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Just chilling, you know.
You've been quite busy since I saw you at A3C back in the fall, architect.
Yeah, you know, I had to turn it up just a little bit, you know what I mean? After that, you know what I mean? I was so juiced, you know, to get out to Atlanta and see the scene and just, you know, shaking and moving. I just came off tour, in Europe. So, you know, I just had to really get in the studio, get in the lab, and really hit him.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how we connected. Was it through the show, or like, were we playing one of your joints, or how did we end up connecting? I can't even remember clearly.
Oh man,
we were playing
through Jasar.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Okay.
Jasar Monumental, because you know we did the Lunchbox joint that just came out this year.
That's
with
right.
MF Grimm, the remix with the 3 vinyls.
That's right.
Well, not this year. I'm sorry, last year.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You
That's
know,
right.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
And I think Jasar came up in our interview with him and Ayatollah, like back when back last year as well. So yeah, man, it was wild, man, because we were kind of watching what was going on at A3C, and I was going to go out to the show to support J57, at 529, and I saw where you were going to be on the bill with who was it? It
First Light.
Yeah, with First Light. With
First Light, Pep Love and Opio.
Pep Love and Opio. And I was like, oh, shit, I definitely got to go check this shit out tonight. So, yeah, man, it was cool to get up with you and build and whatnot. You know, it's not often that happens.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah.
No doubt, man.
So we've been playing.
Yeah, the AC3 was jumping, too.
Yeah. So was that like a little tour that you guys were doing? Like the First Light shit? Like in the Southeast? Or how did that all come together?
Well, you know, I DJ for Souls of Mischief when they go out on the road. You know, and I got to say this because when I really go out with them, it's like I bring my drum machines and I got all their beats kind of broken down. Mm-hmm. So it's like more than just DJing. It's not like I'm spinning the records. I'm actually hitting the buttons and whatnot, and performing their beats live for them while they perform the song. So,
yo, real quick, did you come to Atlanta and do a Scion party? With Souls of Mischief here in Atlanta?
You know what? I just started doing that with them this year. So if it was any time before this year,
no.
Nah.
Okay, got you. Just thought I'd ask. I remember being at that show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So with that said, me and Ope, you already know we be rocking heavy together, me and Pep and spoke, so they needed a DJ for the joint. So we went out there, we did that. We did Florida, Orlando. And, quick little run.
So how do you know those guys? How do you know the Hyro Cats? Just being in the scene together, or what's the history
Well, being in the scene together, we got a lot of mutual friends, that they went to high school with, and people that, I know. And then, in the 90s, well, not even in the 90s, early 2000s, I had my studio in Hyde Street. And their studio was, like, literally next door to my studio. Which, Hyde Street's like where George Clinton recorded his records. James Brown recorded there. Jefferson Airplane. All these different, it's like a classic place. So they had a room in there, and I had a room in there. And, we was right next door, so they be hearing what I'm doing and come in the room and be like, yo, this shit banging. And I go in their room, see what they doing. We be burning it down and whatnot. And,
right.
We had kind of already knew about each other and knew each other through different people, but at that particular time, we really was vibing on the music heavy at that time. So
gotcha. So was this when like when everyone was getting ready to kind of pop, or like what year was that? Do you know?
And that was like I said, early 2000s. So like between 2003 and 2000 and maybe 5 or something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? But I had already knew them from I knew different cats, like I said, through different people. Just
right
being in the Bay Area.
Right.
But you know what I mean? That's when we really linked on some musical type vibe.
Gotcha. All right. So are you from the area originally?
I was just about to ask that.
Go ahead. Are you from there originally?
From Milwaukee.
Oh, really?
My people in the mill.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? But I moved to California when I was 3. So you know what I mean? Like my family and everybody's out there, but my pops, he came out here, he opened up a nightclub in the Bay Area and whatnot, and in the South Bay, Sunnyvale, in fact.
So at 3 you hit the Bay Area?
At 3 I hit the Bay.
Okay, and you stayed there until, or are you still there? You still there, right?
I'm still, I'm still there. I'm in a little bit in the outskirts. You know what I'm saying? I like to drive into town these days.
Yo, so you're a real Bay Area cat, like Mac Dre and E40 and all of that. That's you got some of that in you.
Oh yeah, no, I came up out of that. But you know, at the same note, the same way that they came up, you know, in the styles they doing, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just doing it my way.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I had never even been to New York, you know what I mean? And nothing like that. I never even really dealt with the East Coast like that.
Yeah.
So they do their thing their way. But, you know, they sampling stuff. It's just the records that I had access to. Right. You know what I mean? That kind of molded my sound in comparison to what they do.
Got you. I got you.
So why the move to the Bay,
you know what I mean?
at that time? What, just needed to get out of Milwaukee, or just, you know, had enough of the cold weather? Or like
my pops came out here. My pops was an engineer, electrical engineer, and he was a DJ out there. He wanted to open up a nightclub, so he came out here, got into the computers, and, you know, a few years after that, opened up a nightclub, and and the whole time he was like a mobile DJ and whatnot. So, you know, I was carrying the speakers, you know what I'm saying? Like, into his parties and whatnot. And then after doing that, you know, we talking about early 80s,
right?
Around 89, 90, he opened up a nightclub, and boom. And that's why we came out here, so he could do all that.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't have a chance, man. You didn't have a chance. You were born into this shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, shout out to my pops. I got to say this. Shout out to my pops, man. He passed away last year. Oh. But I want to say this, man.
Yeah.
Pops is on his way to the club, my G. Like, you can rock to the end. My pops rocked to the very end, till the wheels literally fell off. So
that's what's up.
You know, shout out to the hip-hop heads and everybody that's still doing it, because that man did it to the end.
Okay.
Word.
Yo, he had that club, like, forever, like through your teenage and adult years, or?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm saying from when I was a baby, he was DJing the, you know, mobile DJ style.
Okay.
And then the club came around 89, so you figure.
Oh.
But I mean, he had this club for the Bay Area. You know, this is a black nightclub. He had that joint for like over 25 years.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Which is a big feat.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what's up.
You know what I mean? So, you know, from him, you know, he didn't like he was in there playing, you know, MF Doom or anything like that, or playing my shit necessarily. But, you know, I learned how to control the crowd. I learned how to, you know, move people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Did you ever party in there?
What I seen him do. I'm saying, say again?
Did you ever party in there?
Oh, yeah, man. I used to have to do the happy hour, man. Bro, I had to get the bottles. I mean, it was the club. I had to go get the alcohol, pick it up, drop it off. Like, you know what I mean? I did security in the piece. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what's up.
Man, I worked the bar back. It's a family business.
Oh, you grew up in that motherfucker for real. I got you. That's what's up.
I grew up in a nightclub. Yeah.
I
grew up in nightclubs.
What's the illest shit you seen in the club that happened?
Oh my gosh, man!
Bay Area nightclub.
In his club or just
in your family club?
That obviously won't get anyone in trouble. Too much trouble.
Right. I mean,
it's a lot, isn't it? I know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna plead the fifth on that right now, 'cause I can't come up with nothing that would make any sense to anybody without
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And my wife is standing here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it. Let's dead that. Next topic, please.
Oh, that's ill. Oh, that's great. So you obviously got the music bug from your pops then.
No doubt.
Okay, all right. So how'd you get rolling, man? Like, how'd you find yourself getting like real kind of embedded in this, you know, in this hip hop shit and start like wanting to contribute? Like, what made you want to do that?
Well, I mean, just like everybody else back in the day, you know, I went through the culture. You know, I did my little break dancing. I wasn't good, you know what I'm saying? So I quickly got out of that. I mean, I was all right. You know what I mean? Then from there, you know, I did my little writing. Then I got into the DJing. And then from hearing all the records that I was hearing at the time, because, you know, we talking about, like probably 85, 84. You know, I was pretty young. I had turntables young, you know what I mean? Because my dad had them. So, you know, and then we go to the record store and I pick out my joint to LL Cool J's, the different records. And, you know, I was hearing all that hip hop at the time, and I was trying to figure out how they did it. Because keep in mind, when we moved to California, I moved to the South Bay, which is like San Jose, Milpitas area. Okay. So it wasn't like I moved into an area where it was super metropolitan necessarily, like it is now. Now it is, but you know what I mean. But so, you know, I didn't even know what a sampler was. So I was trying to figure out for a long time just how they were making the beats.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like I had access to, you know what I'm saying, just anybody who knew what the hell was going on with what I was trying to do. So I figured out about a sampler. And once I figured out about a sampler, you know what I mean, I hustled my little monies together through the house parties I was DJing and whatnot, got the sampler. Well, actually, I thought it was a 4-track first, and I bought a 4-track. And I was trying to loop the records on the 4-track and figured out that wasn't it. Then I got a sampler later, which, you know, took a while to round that money up. But
right.
I got an EPS sampler. Once I got the EPS sampler, then I figured out what was happening on the records.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because initially I didn't understand exactly how they were getting the records to loop. You know what I mean? So, you know, from there, so once I figured that shit out, I got into actually understanding how to make beats, understanding hip hop in a whole nother type of way. You know what I mean? Outside of a DJ perspective. And that's what really got me into making music.
So you didn't have a mentor or anything on the production side of things. You literally just kind of had to figure that shit out on your own. Sounds like.
Exactly. That shit was crazy back then too.
Right.
I thought, like I said, I thought they was looping records with 4 tracks. I mean, I'm sure people were tape looping and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, of course.
I really thought that shit was happening from, 4 tracks. I didn't realize. I thought people would just mix up records, so I would do my beats like that. You know what I mean? Then after that, it was like, get a drum machine. Then after that, it was like, the drum machine don't sample. You know what I mean? Then he's like, shit, it's a sampler.
Right.
And then from there,
Yo, man.
Like nowadays, people don't understand, though. People don't
Oh,
understand.
they got it.
How, you know,
it's totally different.
like, you just
DJing,
on YouTube and shit.
yeah, DJing is different. And beat making is totally different, man. I remember the first time I fucked around on an MPC 60. I basically did my first EP by myself, my own 2 hands. But it sounded so shitty. My man G Supreme Allah, peace to the God. He came in, he was like, yo, you working with something, but we ain't gonna be able to go in the studio like this. He was like, do you mind if I touch it? I was like, man, I'm not trying to rap over this shit the way it is. It's like the preliminary, idea or thought process, but he knew how to get around on that shit. So he touched them up, and it just so happened to be what I was trying to do. So I completely understand what you're talking about. Like I didn't get it. I was trying to get it, but I didn't get it. And then sitting there watching him over a couple of nights, I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Okay, this is what it's all about. So yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen
once
now.
You get it, you figure it out.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap,
man.
Yo, that's the best feeling.
Yeah, man.
That's the best feeling in the world. Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of people in my area, man, would make pilgrimages to come to my house after I had got that sampler, man. And the turntables, you don't even know, man.
What do you mean, like who?
That shit was like pilgrimage.
Who was coming through? Who was coming through, Architect?
I mean, these people aren't people you would necessarily know. But I mean, I could name some people you might like. Charizma came by the crib before. Me and him rocked together.
Oh,
you
word.
Know, he's from the same neighborhood I'm from.
Oh,
you know
I didn't
what I mean?
know that.
From Milpitas. Shout out to all my in-town people. You know what I'm saying? But he was from the same neighborhood, so he would come by the crib here and there and check out my stuff. You know what I mean? Peanut Butter lived about 2 miles from my mom's house. He lived in San Jose, but it's like 2 miles from my mom's house. So I would go up there, and he ended up with the same sampler I had. So me and him would trade information, you know what I mean, and whatnot. In fact, already know that's how he ended up putting out a lot of the stuff that I ended up doing, was because I knew him from young dude. You know what I mean?
Oh, I did not realize that connect, man. I didn't put that together. That's crazy. So
I went to high school with Charizma, bro.
Word? I did not realize that.
Yeah, I went to high school with these guys. Yeah. These are dudes that,
Oh.
Shout out to his sister Shanine. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Shout out to Kizzy. Rest in peace, but live forever, Charizma.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? I got to shout him out. That's my man, like I say. But we're all from the same city, literally, which is not a big city. You know what I mean? So when I'm saying it's my people, is like, yo, for real.
That's what's up.
Damn, that is ill. I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
That's
Shout out
what's
to Peanut Butter, of course, the homie. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That's the homie right there.
Word. Wow, that is crazy,
Yeah,
man. I've just now all the pieces are falling into place now. That's ill. So what were the first joints that you kind of started, like, you know, I guess like working on, like that you eventually ended up putting out? Like you got the EPS, you got that shit rolling. Like what was the next move after
I got
that?
the sampler. I'm over at the fucking mall, summertime, and I run into. So I have the sampler, so everybody in the area know that I got a sampler, and other people have samplers too. But like I said, these are dudes with studios, and y'all remember how it used to be, man. To make a beat, I know dudes who go to. You have to go to the studio with your records to loop up the beat.
Oh yeah,
yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So at this time, having this shit amongst kids is like a big deal. So, you know what I'm saying?
that's so
I don't know, man. Long story short, man. I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Well, I'm kind of doing the same thing because it is so ill. Like, I mean, the fact that it's just people have no idea like how hard it was to get this shit going. If you wanted to do this shit, like there was no internet. There weren't even any fucking books on this shit,
Dude,
man.
you sit in that motherfucker all day, man.
YouTube right now. I go to YouTube now on Real Talk, and I'll be like, yo, I always wondered if this thing did this, and look up a sampler I'll be dealing with. I'll be like, oh, shit, I never even knew that this shit did that. You know what I mean? Because so much information's out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Man, you sit in the motherfucking crib all day.
Yeah,
trying to get.
I mean, you 15 years old looking at a manual talking about truncates and you know what I'm saying, all these big ass words. I mean, you're just trying to really get through it. Like, it ain't like, you know what I mean?
Yep. And once you simplify it for yourself, all that other shit just go out the window. I ain't truncating shit. I ain't doing nothing.
Until you run out of sample time, you're like, well, I can't sample nothing no more. And it's like you needed to truncate because that gives you back your memory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then, you know, nowadays niggas got memory till
the cows come home. Yeah. Back in the day, you had one beat on 10 discs.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Man.
Yes. Exactly. Man. Yo. That's wild, man.
Yeah,
that's what's so funny, right? It's just so funny to think about it. And this will be the last thing I say about it. We can move on. But it's so ill because back then, everyone at the time was like, yo, this is like that digital shit. Like, this is like that next level and that next way. But it is still so analog. Like, it was still so like the truncating part and like you didn't have these screens and shit like you have now. Like, it is still a very hands-on, tactile, you know,
I mean, man, there wasn't
process.
Even computers. There wasn't really
there wasn't computer. Right, yeah.
Home computer like at this time. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like,
yeah, man.
So we was using MIDI trying to, sync up stuff. But
right,
with that said, I was listening to just yesterday. I was doing a show in Fresno. I had a little drive. I'm listening to Ultramagnetic. Shout out to Cool Keith and Said G and the whole Ultramagnetic crew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And man, I was listening to that. I was like, yo, this was just sounding like, I was listening to Four Horsemen. Man, sounding raw. I was, I popped on the, what's that? The Cuban Links joint on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was like, yo. Like there were some joints, man.
Yeah,
back in them days, people was taking that equipment and really pushing it.
Yeah,
it's limitations that make you go.
Yeah,
see, right now when you ain't got no limitations, you just you ain't gonna be that fresh.
Yeah.
But when you got limitations, it causes you to come up with new shit that makes your shit fresh.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And that was the definitive soundscape for those years, going from, you think about the time between Ultramagnetics and Cuban Links came out and all that music in between. Shit.
God,
that was that shit.
All that shit was raw.
That was that shit, man. Yo, Architect, I always trip out. 88 was my favorite shit, son. I always trip out when I see, we talked to a couple of cats over the past 3 years or so. But anytime I see this label in there, it kind of just takes me back to a time like we was just talking about. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us about your time and your dealings with ABB Records. Oh
man, Benny B, that's the homie, man.
No doubt.
Shout out to Benny B. Got to shout dude out, man. But yeah, man, Benny B, good dude, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he hooked me up with my man Azim. You know what I'm saying? Who I've done music with. Like, Benny B's a good dude, man. He's just got a great ear.
Okay.
He knows some dope shit when he see it, especially at the time, because there was a lot of, you know, even at that time, was a lot of stuff coming through the table.
Yeah.
So I'm sure through his table, you know what I'm saying? But,
no doubt.
You know, the stuff we did with Asia was just amazing, man. It was some great shit. And the stuff he did with the Far Eye, you know, all the people he dealt with are still rocking.
Yeah.
You know, Dilated Peoples, Evidence in them.
Yeah.
But, you know, in them days, man, honestly, it was just friendships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything was based off, you know, this dude, like, it was a lot of love back then.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where, you know, especially in the Bay Area, you know what I mean? It was a lot of like, yo, my man's heard you was dope. That kind of stuff was going on. So,
right.
You know.
What happened to Benny?
It was just a different type of time.
Yeah, what happened to Benny Architect? What's he up to now?
Man, I'm sure he's doing good, but I ain't hollered at that brother for a minute, man.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to understand, I took a little time off, and I hate to say this, but I got to be 100. Like, you didn't see me flood, like, you know, I let a lot of people eat, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took some time off, you know what I mean? Just kind of, I wasn't feeling the direction of what was happening in the industry and just everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I felt like I needed that shit to regulate.
Yeah.
Well, you know, regulate itself. Kind of like Bitcoin. Like, you know, everybody was juiced. Now
now this shit's all out of control.
That's kind of how I was feeling about the music industry.
Yeah.
At around 2006.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I still did. I made sure to leave enough, which also I did the Vulture's Wisdom. Me and Opio did 2 joints, and I made sure to get Asia the DCM stuff, and I did a lot of stuff to keep it cool while I was going to take some time out and let things kind of regulate themselves.
Yeah. Yes.
And now I feel like we at a place where, you know,
it's cool to be back on the scene again. I got you.
So, yeah, well, no, I can't even front, man. I went on the internet one day about 4 years ago, and I looked up. I was like, "Yeah, man, YouTube shit tight." And I was like, "Let me see my shit," and I started Googling my shit in the internet. In the YouTube, and I was noticing that people was actually feeling the shit.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Other people had put shit up there. I didn't even know that this was happening because I was so caught off into what I was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I went and checked up on some shit. You know what I mean? I was just kind of like, yo, I didn't even know motherfuckers was still, you know, on it. I thought it was all, commercialized or whatever. So when I seen that on YouTube, that kind of triggered me, and I was reading comments and stuff like that, and I was just like, yo, I didn't even have my hands in this stuff. I need to get back on top of getting this music out for the people, man.
Right.
So that's kind of what brought me back into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So to step back a little bit, then after you got your sampler, like what was what kind of pushed you over the edge? Like, did you get a placement, or like what really got you, you know, out of the bedroom and into doing these joints and having a name, and like what kind of got you?
Oh, right. Okay, that's what it was. So, since a lot of people in the Bay Area knew about what I was doing musically, one of my friends I went to high school with, well, I grew up with my man's. His sister's best friend, this is how it always goes, was Coolio's brother's girlfriend.
Okay.
And, you know, the word went down the line. This guy's the illest dude. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of how the perception was at the time. You know what I mean? So my man Spoon, Coolio's brother, comes through the crib. And, well, hold on. Well, I'm going to finish this real quick, but there's something that happened before that. So I'm going to finish this real quick. Okay. He comes through the crib. He's like, yo, man, make a beat. I made the beat on the spot. Coolio didn't use this beat, but he wanted to see if I had the skills to make a beat. Boom. Next thing you know, he's like, yo, I'm going to call you. I mean, he literally came to my bedroom, listened to me make some music, dipped, and was like, I'm going to call you. I knew about Coolio because I loved the Mad Circle at the time. You know, it's WC and the Mad Circle.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that shit was just crazy to me, and the whole Crazy Tunes, Rest in Peace, and all that. I was on that. You know what I mean? The whole, that LA sound that they were doing. So, long story short, boom. Dude dips from the crib. hits me up 3 months later. He's like, yo, it's time. And I just jumped in the car, drove to LA, man. And then next thing I know, I'm down there rocking with him. Now, that's the big record. That's the big record shit that happened. But before that,
what record was
me
that?
Me and him knew each other.
I'm
sorry. That was a Coolio record. I remember.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the J-Roll from the Alcoholics.
Yeah.
Right. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But before that.
But prior to that, me, Peanut Butter, and Charizma, and my man Grand, so I'm in the Homeless Derelicts. I'm the producer of Homeless Derelicts.
Yeah.
That's my group.
Yeah.
Peanut Butter, Wolf, and Charizma, we have the same manager at this time.
Who's that?
Matt Brown.
Okay.
Strong Arm Management. Shout out to Matt Brown. Matt Brown, that's the homie.
Okay.
Good dude.
Okay.
And, they got signed to Hollywood Basic or whatever, but that had fell apart or whatever the case. You obviously know Charizma got, he passed away.
Yeah, Dave Tompkins.
Everything changed.
Yeah,
I did the thing.
Dave Tompkins.
I did the thing with Coolio, but right before doing that, Peanut Butter had got his situation going with Stone Throw.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the thing with the Homeless Derelicts. Actually, you know what? I think that shit happened after that. Anyways, the Coolio record came out, whatever. I dipped from LA, man, because my perception on what I was trying to do as an artist we weren't going in the same direction.
Okay.
As you can see.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? We just weren't going in the same direction, whatever. It was all good. I love Coolio. Shout out to my mans. I just rocked the show with him in Vegas, him and Razkaz. But, we just wasn't going in the same direction. So, anyways, I went, boom, I come back up to the Bay. Me and Peanut Butter link up, and then we put out the Homeless Derelict stuff.
So
that's how I got into the music industry.
Yeah. So how'd you connect with Asia and Rasco and all those guys? Still through kind of, those initial connects with Wolf?
Rasco's through Peanut Butter. You know what I'm saying? Because he was on Stone Throw too at the time. Right. I don't exactly know how they hooked up, but I met Rasco through Peanut Butter, being on the same Stone Throw label. And then Rasco introduced me to Asia.
Weren't they working at like a distribution joint together or something like that? I thought Wolf and Rasco were working at, what's the name of that
TRC. It was TRC.
There you go. Isn't that how they hooked up? Or I don't know. I kind of vaguely remember that. Maybe.
No, it was TRC. Everybody was working at TRC Distribution.
Okay. Were you working there?
No. No, I wasn't.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Y'all. No, I was just wandering around in the streets, man, doing my shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing my regular, what everybody else was doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't at TRC. You know what I mean? I didn't get it. I mean, honestly, shit, I should have been. But, I was in, doing my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm sure working at TRC would have been an education in itself on some kind of level.
Hey, it would have been definitely a good look.
Yeah. Yo, speaking of Rasco and Asia.
I was young then. I didn't know, I wouldn't have even understood that at that particular time.
Got you. Yo, speaking of Rasco and Asia, man, do you know of any Cali agent stuff we need to be looking out for? Like, are they still tight? They still work together sometimes? What's the deal with that?
No, they still rock together. I don't know, man. The suspense has to be there for that.
Okay.
I'm hoping they do it, but I can't say for sure.
Got you. Got you.
So what made you want to check out for a little bit, Architect? Like, why'd you bail in the earlier mid 2000s? Just had enough, or?
Yeah, like I said, man, it was just a lot of stuff going on at that time in my particular life, and I just felt like it was time to kind of just fall back. Once again, I wasn't really, the internet was just coming into play, all these different things, and, I wasn't confident or really understanding what was going to happen in the future. Labels weren't doing what they normally did for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, at the time. So I kind of just had to fall back, just kind of, renegotiate life. You know what I mean? And just take a look at the game.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you see?
Well, first of all, when I dipped out, I seen a lot of music ain't worth nothing. That was the thing. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm not part of that era.
Oh, that's the beginning of that's the beginning of that's the beginning of all music is free. Got you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just that it was for free. It was just the whole way that they were selling the music.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who was in my era's attitude about it. And a couple people, like I said, I always got to shout Planet Asia, man. Because he went through the murk and mud, you know what I'm trying to say? Because at that particular time, dudes like Rock Marciano, all them dudes who are shining right now, they went through that. But I was like, I wasn't feeling it as a producer, what I was seeing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much a shock to me to give all my music away for free. That's pretty much a shock.
Yeah, that's a rough one right there. That is a rough one to have to deal with.
Here it is 10 years, 20 years, or, 10, 12 years later. I get it. I understand it now, but I didn't get it then. So it was kind of like, and it wasn't just about that. It was just like everything was kind of in the industry of physical things that was crumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's making a transition. So, with that said, that kind of made me want to just analyze things. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then, opportunities came into my hand. I went out, chilled out, and just lived life and whatnot. And,
okay.
I had children. I got children.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure everything they was doing was good. I went to Brazil, what I'm saying, with my uncle and we did a documentary down there for a few months.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
what documentary did you do?
It's, my uncle's Kung Fuu. Shout out to Kung Fuu Zuberi. You know what I'm saying? He was a PBS guy, the History Detectives. I got to shout my man's out because he brought me to Brazil.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And PBS. One love to PBS.
Gotta love PBS.
Basically, it was the African diaspora of Brazil. So we was kind of peeping the whole, like, Africans coming there earlier.
The whole Afro-Latina thing. Yeah.
Those artifacts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We was dealing with the slavery in Brazil. We was dealing with Queen Isabella. You know what I mean? We was just doing the science on the African diaspora of Brazil.
That's a hot topic right now, too. Crazy that you mentioned that. I know a couple of cats catching a lot of backlash right now for trying to downplay the whole Afro-Latina culture or whatever. Kind of like that shit never happened. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real. I mean, what I've seen down there, man, is it's a lot of things that, I mean, that's a show in itself, brothers. But just know that the planet, you know what I mean? On the planet, man, everybody everywhere.
Everybody.
Just know that. Everybody everywhere.
Has always been that way.
And it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yo, during this downtime, Architect, did you, like, you pulled away from the industry and all that, music in general, what have you. Did you take your hands off your equipment, or were you still being creative during this downtime?
Man, I was going in.
Okay. All right.
That's why I'm able to do what I'm doing even right now.
Gotcha.
People don't even know I did a show this weekend. I was playing beats from quite a while ago.
Okay.
I mean, people even now, they be rapping on things that they don't know, but it don't matter because it's like a painting. You ain't going to say Picasso's paintings are too old.
Yeah, it's timeless.
On your wall.
It's timeless.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm an artist, man. I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm doing my thing, I see colors. My shit is a painting. It's not like I'm just over here banging on. I know everybody else banging on beats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And all that. But I'm just saying, when I'm doing my thing, I'm trying to touch you in a certain way. You know what I mean? It don't always happen, but,
right.
and I try to put that into it. And I'm hoping that people who make music try to put a little more into it than just making the motherfucking beat. Like, we all can do that.
Right.
But I try to put a little pain and struggle in my shit.
Gotcha.
Right. Right. So what pushed you over the edge? What pushed you over the edge to get back in, man? Was it something you heard, or was it just time to come back?
No, literally, it was the fact that I went on YouTube and I'm seeing videos and songs I did, and people got, you know, I don't want to start yelling out numbers because that's just probably hella cheesy. So I'm not going to yell out no numbers, but things were enough to catch my attention,
right?
To where I needed to check in on what I had worked hard on.
Got you.
And not just walk away from it because of whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like once I seen that, you know what I mean? I kind of just was like, yo, I got to get back on top of my shit. I was already making beats, and I don't stop making beats. So it wasn't like I had to come in and make a bunch of new shit. It was just that, you know, and I'm consistently making music. So it was just like, all right, fine. I'm going to get on back on the business aspect and try to show people, you know, getting out there trying to show people shit rather than just hoarding up in the house.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of, you know, like I said, I can't front, man. It was YouTube, man. I seen that and I was like, oh shit. Because back in our days, man, you sell some records, man, and the label put it, you don't know. The label telling you this shit ain't selling enough.
Right. Yeah, but you got to do that research, man. You got to go see.
No matter what.
You got to go see Big Red during his office hours, man.
No matter what, no matter how well it did, that shit did not sell.
Right.
It didn't sell, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I seen that, you know what I mean? I was just like, when I seen what was going on YouTube now, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, yo, this shit crazy. Then, you know, then you got your SoundClouds and all this different shit. So, you know, and like I said, it wasn't like I left to the degree of never giving nobody no beats. It was just that I wasn't taking no time to push me.
I got you.
Right. Yeah.
So are you in a pretty good comfort zone right now by today's standards, music wise, business wise, what have you?
You know what? I'm in a free zone. I feel like right now is room and anything can happen.
Okay.
I feel like Russell Simmons. I'm sure how he felt when he heard the first little hip hop songs coming through his, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Through his business table. Like that's how I feel right now. I feel like that there's a whole new world out there. There's a whole new beginning for anybody who's been doing music. You know what I mean? And if you have a background, you should capitalize on that in whatever degree. You know, I know they don't like that word, but I'm just saying you should be using that information. If people out there, you got fan base, you can get to them now.
Right.
The internet is allowing people to get to things. So, you know, with that said, man, I'm in heavy right now, man.
That's what's up.
I'm definitely in the comfort zone.
Is there anything that concerns you or any complaints, anything that you don't like right now about today's climate?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, yeah, outside the fact you can't make no money.
Okay, yeah, that's
if you don't know what you're doing.
That's number one right there.
I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you see the little memes and all this stuff with the, you know, you get all these streams, and all of a sudden you ain't, you know, you get 5 racks, but you're going to stream millions of people. But I don't think, I think all of that, the key to the game, man, is bringing the money out the matrix, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're trying to get out the matrix, man, bring that shit. You want food and it's in the matrix, bring that shit into reality.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the streaming and all that, I'm not really concerned with. You know, I like the vinyl game right now. I like the CD game.
Okay.
And the tape game. I like the physical things that are happening.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, if I'll deal with the collectors because I'm doing art. So it's like, I'll just deal with the collectors, man. We got, 10, 20,000, 100,000 collectors out there. I'm just trying to deal with them. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good place to be right now.
Okay. Interesting. I like
wait
that.
till them computers crash. Wait till them computers crash and everybody lose their music.
Yeah. And that whole net neutrality thing falls into place. You right about that right there, man. For sure.
I mean, that's not an impossible thing.
Oh, no.
No, not at all.
Nah, I mean, and truth be told, man, that shit is closer than a lot of people even realize. They keep blowing that shit off like, they'll never do it. Whatever. Man, don't play with that shit, man. Don't do it. I mean,
man, iTunes could shut you down right now.
Man.
iTunes could be like literally go in and take all your music. I mean, I don't know if they can do this, so let me chill. But I'm just saying that all your shit on the computer and it's not in reality, man. It's like some of your shit need to be in reality. So that's my game.
Yo,
it's
like, as simple
as shit in reality, man.
Yo, as simple as that shit was just about to roll off your tongue, that's how easy that shit can happen. That's some real shit.
You know.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, people just need to wake up, man. Like that shit can really happen for real.
Word. So talk to us about the new shit, Architect.
So,
I mean, we've been playing the joints. I mean, like,
new shit. So,
I mean, like some of my personal favorite shit. I mean, I love the work you're doing with Killa Kali. Like, I've been a longtime fan of that guy. You know, I love the shit you're doing, like the Byrd Land shit you're doing. Like, just break down like what your approach is right now, because it seems like you kind of got, you know, 2 or 3 or 4, you know, artists, groups, what have you, that you're kind of moving with, you know, in kind of unison right now to define, like, you know, this next phase.
Well, you know, I've always been a dude who's kind of, you know, I like to work with people I know. So, you know, me and Byrd Land, you know, we've been rocking for years. In fact, he used to go by a different name. He was Holocaust at one point, and he's actually on the Executive Lounge record and a couple records I did in the past.
Okay.
But, you know, we reinventing right now. So, you know, he Byrd Land right now. So, you know, that's one dude I work with heavily. Me and Cali, we rock all the time.
What's the connect
there?
You
know, my thing right now is kind of like, yeah, and my man Kung Fu. That man from the Dumb God Squad, that's my dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's ATL.
These are the people I'm just kind of working with, man. Like, you know, I don't really like to it's, you know, I don't usually send out beats for people to buy. And that could be a good or a bad, but the reality is I like to, you know, people reach out to me, I reach out to them, and we vibe together. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So all the people I'm working with, my man Cochise, you know, my man Legend, it's like we really vibe together. Like, you know, Planet Asia, that's one of my folks. You know, Opio, I've known these guys for a long time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, we going in the studio really just hanging out, you know what I mean, and doing what we do naturally. You know, so that's why, you know, I don't send out a lot of beats, because that's a little unnatural. You know what I'm saying? It just, for me, you know, but, you know, hey.
So how do you know Cali?
Send y'all beats out, man. I ain't knocking it.
Yeah. How do you know Cali? How do you know Killa Kali? What's the connect there?
Oh, my man Turban. He introduced me to Cali. He was like, yo, son is the illest dude. You need to rock with Cali. Yeah. That was years ago.
Okay.
And man, me and Cali been vibing since.
Damn.
That's what's up. What's the connection with you and Grim? How did that relationship come to be?
Wow, that's crazy. So, you know, I was seeing the MF Doom records at one point, and you know, Count Bass D and them. So, you know, Grim had put his phone number to the office on the back of the joint.
Well, for Day by Day?
Old school, I called up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, yo, man.
Oh, yeah.
Luke Skywalker had his number on the shit back in the day, man. That was kind of something that would be, you could get a phone. Def Jam, I think, had a number back on one of them records back way back.
Well,
so I called the hell up. I was like, yo, and then Grim answered the phone. I'm like, yo, what's up, God? Yeah. And we just started building. Next thing you know, I'm like, yo, man, I'm going to send over music, and boom, we was rocking.
That's what's up.
Damn, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Back to that phone number shit and back to Benny B. I think I don't know if I told this story.
I think you did. I forget who he was talking to.
I have a great story like that, Architect, with Benny B. When I was doing college radio, I was at this little shithole station at Western Kentucky University, 100 watts, right? we only reported to CMJ, so we didn't report to Gavin or any of that shit, right? So, you know, I was buying records and I got the Defari record. What was that shit? Fucking the Red Label joint. The first or second one he put out. I can't remember. Anyway, and it had the phone number on there. So I called the phone number trying to get service. Yo, and Benny B fucking sunned me like no other. I mean, sunned me like
That's
no.
Benny.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. Son, you got the hot shit, son. Oh, where you at? Oh, you're in Kentucky? Oh, let me get your address. Oh, man. But you know what? I got that fucking record. But, like, that's another thing, man. Like, going back to, like, the samplers and, like, trying to figure this shit out. Like, nobody, like, you can't get that experience anymore, you know? Like, calling the record label from the number on the fucking label.
Yo, our first shopping trip to New York, that's how we got around the city. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have, you know, contact names and addresses and stuff like that. But we had all these CDs at the crib. So, you know, what better way to act like you know where the fuck you going than to have, you know, handwritten addresses to all the labels you want to go for. I'm talking about Nervous. I'm talking about anybody out of Wild Pitch, all of that shit. We was knocking on your motherfucking door. And the look you would get was like, how you find us? I was like, man, don't even worry about that shit. Like, what the fuck y'all got going on in here, man? Like we trying to get down. Well, where y'all from, man? We up here from Atlanta. Atlanta? Yeah, man. What the fuck? We trying to do something. What's up, man? Just, you know, leave it. You know, you get a call back. A lot of times you don't get a call back, but, you know, we just had to put motherfuckers on notice, man. We will find you. We was on some Liam Neeson shit. We will find you. Man. And we will kill you, you know. Hell yeah. Those was good fucking times, man. And not Absolutely. To mention even just being up in New York for like CMJ and shit like that. Just times forgotten, man. You know what I'm saying? Just great times, man. Yeah. Hell yeah.
But you know what, man? We're on the cusp of bringing all that back.
It is.
Like,
it's close.
Around the corner.
Yeah, it's close.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, you'd be surprised, like Kung Fu. You know what I'm saying? All the dumb God dudes. You know what I'm saying? Nicholas Craven. I got to shout some of these guys out, man.
Shout them out.
You know, even Daniel's son, all them guys, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just around the corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what we like about this shit is that the age range of the cats that's kind of like keeping this shit moving right now. It's not a bunch of old disgruntled motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. the curmudgeon gang. It's
young boys.
Yeah, it's the young boys. They got this shit right now, man. And I'm loving to be able to sit back and watch. We got music on deck too, but it's just like shit. Let me see what these let me see what
I can't front, man. I'm just trying to have my hands on what I can with the young cats and just give them the information and whatever they need from me, you know, as far as information.
Yeah, and that's what we let them know with us, you know what I'm saying? Like, once we get a hold of your shit and start fucking with it, man, you need to just keep feeding us that shit, and we gonna push that shit. All the Nolan and Ninjas, all the Heem Stogie.
Real quick, man. Yeah. I got to give a salute to Southern Vangard Radio, man.
Oh, shit.
God damn it. Yo, Southern Vangard Radio. Yo, make some noise, girl. Make some noise. Okay.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, y'all doing the real shit, man. Like, there's not a lot of stations showing love to that real shit. You know what I mean? Even on now, there's a lot of podcasts, but your ear is very, 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 very credible, I should say, and unique. I like what y'all do, man. So I just want to take a real quick second out, man, just to give y'all props, man.
Man, we appreciate that. Yeah, that ear belongs to the one and only DJ John Doe. He goes through thousands of albums every week and picks
thousands.
He picks the top shelf shit, and that's what we roll with, man. I come in here, I don't know what the fuck we dropping. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you know, I know what John's taste is, and his taste is similar to mine. I'm never like really worried about that shit. But all that music you hear, that's curated by him. So really, the shouts need to go out. I just come in here and drink once a week and talk shit.
Bourbon, right?
Yeah,
I gotta get out there for that bourbon.
Yeah, we got you, man.
Yeah.
90 proof or better.
Anytime.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that.
We appreciate the shit out of that, man, for real.
Oh, that's crazy.
Thank y'all, man.
All right.
So, Architect, what do we got, on deck in 2018, man? Just more of the same? Just, keep dropping joints or?
Man, well, we doing the beat shows. That's number one. So you can expect to see me in your city, rocking live on the beats.
What's that like?
Me and my man Kung Fuu.
Okay.
He's based out of Atlanta.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
We got some stuff coming.
Okay.
Me and Planet Asia, we got a record coming.
You're on the new Asia joint, aren't you? Aren't you doing cuts on that or something? Aren't you on Asia's new joint?
I did some scratching on that. I did some scratching on the Golden Buddha. Shout out to Izzy Nice because he murdered the beats.
He did murder the beats. That joint sounds crazy.
Yeah, man. So, really I'm going to be rocking live, man. I'm working on something in Europe right now. I'm doing a live tour in the UK, in Europe.
All
so, I'm going to be doing my live beat sets, but I got a bunch of records coming this year, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't say too much because I'm working on things, but
that's
you
cool.
can definitely expect another me in Byrd Land. You can expect me and my man Cochise. You can expect me in Planet Asia. Me and Killa Kali got another joint.
Okay.
I'm about to be reaching out to a lot of different dudes. You know what I mean? And, you're going to be hearing some stuff, man.
That's what's up. Well, as always, man, send it this way. Send it this way, and we got you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's nothing.
Yes,
it's
sir.
nothing.
So, Architect, where can people go support? Like, where can they go buy something? More importantly, that's the most important thing. Is where can they support you?
So y'all can check me on my Instagram because that's the best place to see what I'm doing, and that's Architect. Correct spelling, Architect HHP, or you can go to my Bandcamp, which is the Architect Beat Show at Bandcamp.
Okay.
Yo, last question, man.
We got one more. We got a sleeper.
Your Instagram profile pic. That's you, right?
Yeah.
Yo, how much gold you personally own, man? Like,
I told you I had to take some time off, man. I had to take some time off, yo. You know what I mean? It's quite a bit.
My man,
and that's a Rolex.
My man, 100 grand and 14 karat gold on y'all stinking ass, man.
At least, man. At least.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna need you.
Shout out to my jeweler, man.
No doubt. No doubt. I'm gonna need you to put a shirt on, though, my G. Put a shirt on.
I know, right? I always felt the way about that, but I was like, damn, this is the only picture I got with all the shit on it. I take another one. I'm like,
you good, man. You good. That gold got you covered up crazy, so you good.
Yeah. Next time I have a shirt on, though.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Good talking to you tonight, man. We appreciate you, man. And like John said earlier, man, we got the joints you sent through. So we about to drop everything tonight. So yeah.
Yo, can you
definitely, man. I appreciate it, man.
Can you tee us up for any of these joints, Architect, or should we just drop them and just let people figure it out? Just like what's the deal with all these joints you sent us?
Well, I got Planet Asia, Lyrics Jones in there, Byrd Land's in there with my man Cochise, the Tender Trio. My man Kung Fu's in there. And I got some ill shit from Prince Poe that I did a while back that it never came out.
Shouts out
you know
to
what
Prince
I mean?
Poe.
So,
Word, okay.
It never, and it's not going to come out. So I'm just emailing to you. It's not coming out, but I just wanted y'all to have it. See what the people think, man.
Okay,
all right,
cool.
beautiful. All right. Good looks, man. All right. Well, look, so if you heard this interview first, make sure you go back and listen to episode 150. 150.
Yeah.
To hear these exclusive joints you will not hear anywhere else. For sure you've heard them here first.
Nowhere else.
Nowhere
Sorry.
else. Some of them you will never hear, anywhere.
Yeah, the Chris Paul stuff, you ain't never going to hear that.
Yeah, you're never going to hear that.
They better record this one because if you play any of those songs, they're never getting heard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
by anybody but me.
Word. So yeah, but make sure you put this episode in the archives, and make sure you go hit up Architect on Instagram, any of those platforms, and support this brother. He's doing the real shit.
Yeah.
And thank you, man. This has been a real pleasure.
Hell yeah.
I really enjoyed kicking it with you at A3C, and it's just nice to kind of, loop back around again and kind of, see all the progress you've made in, I don't know, gosh, 6, 7, 8 months. It's pretty amazing, man.
No doubt.
Salute to you, man.
I appreciate it, y'all, man. And, I love what y'all doing, man. So, anytime you need me, I'm there, bro.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what's up, y'all. All right.
Good looks. Architect, thank you, man. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
All right, brother. Be good.
Peace,
yes,
peace.
Some Star Wars shit.
Hey, man. So
fly.
Skype. So fly over here, man.
Skype getting
it's so
fancy.
fly in the bourbon room, man. Like,
it really is.
You just have to soak this shit up, man.
It really is.
The wood varnish, all of
this. The wood varnish. This is
gotta soak this shit up, man. Lights, the recessed lighting.
This is gonna become a destination.
The exposed wiring. It just doesn't get any. It doesn't get any better than this, man. We the guard, man.
We are the guard.
Come on,
this
man.
This is Southern Vangard Radio. Twice a week mix, twice a week dough.
Fly glasses, fly
At
bourbon.
Southern Vanguard everywhere. Leave that U out.
Twice a week.
Smithsonian great. Guggenheim great.
Guggen. We still Guggen on you hoes.
Peace to Photo Rob. This is Southern Vanguard Radio. John Doe.
Cappuccino.
We out.
Meeks. Peace.